Yeah. Fucking my brain. Sorry. I need to make sure I put the other one away. Professional.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to like hold myself back from talking shit because it's like my number one pastime.
It's fine.
I only do it with the best, like,
People who get it.
I don't do it hatefully.
No.
Should we kind of start the same, or do you want to?
You give me a chance to reset because I got a better answer this time.
For
It wasn't even a question, but talking about my bright colors.
okay, so I'll start again, and I'll be like, so we met you at
Yeah.
Offset.
Oh. Yeah, there's that background noise for sure.
Hey, Will. Willie.
Talk.
Hello.
Say hi.
Hello.
Okay. Hello. One more time, Danielle.
Hello.
Okay. Elizabeth.
Hello.
Great. Okay. Did you need to?
No, she seems chill.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
just gonna make him give her a bit.
She's cool. All right. Hello, Elizabeth.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good. How are y'all?
Good.
So
Thanks.
good.
Thanks for having us in your home.
Yeah.
Welcome.
So cozy.
We were just talking about how we all met at Outside Lands.
Yes.
And you were dressed as a clown.
Yeah.
So that was our first introduction.
My claim to fame is the clown. I love that outfit. I peaked at 7 a.m. on Halloween. When that was when my makeup was the best.
Yeah, I think it has to be noted it was Halloween.
Oh yeah, that is
Yeah.
important. And I'm just regularly, although I would like to dress like that regularly.
Yeah.
The little neck collar thing.
You could
I'm about it.
show up on Instagram.
Right.
or-
If anyone could pull it off, you could pull it off.
I always say that like anything, it doesn't matter how unflattering something is, if it's insane enough, it works.
Yeah.
So
And it's all about the confidence. Like you can wear anything, and if you're showing up with confidence, people are gonna be
Yes.
like, okay, I see it.
yes.
It makes sense.
I forgot that I was dressed as a clown for most of the day too.
Yeah,
so
you just show up to people. You're like, hi. They're all low.
yeah, because I think I had like a sad face painted on my face too. So,
But your colors were so bright.
yes,
So it was like,
I know. I tried to match my booth. I always want my booth to be, I say, a mixture of Limited to Lizzie McGuire and Polly Pocket,
Oh my gosh.
and it just like exploded on
in
it.
activism.
Yeah. If Polly Pocket was like housing is a human right,
Yeah.
and then went back into her little shell thing, her little house.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I could see that toys for like, the future
yeah.
for little feminist
I love that.
children. I know. Maybe you should start a Polly Pocket.
New
line.
idea.
That would be so fun. I'd have to make them like the original ones, though, not the like mini ones.
Mhm.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well, your apartment's adorable. We were
Thank
talking
you.
about the bright colors.
Yes. I try to like, my Peach Fuzz stuff kind of bleeds into the rest of the house with my style. It's unavoidable.
Yeah.
I can't not like cover something in pom pom balls and rhinestones and all that stuff.
Yeah. I wore the brightest colors I owned because.
No, I appreciate that, and you match some of the stuff on the walls and stuff. I love it.
I know.
And then she was like, you need to dress really fun. And this is the most I came up with. I have like no color. I'm the opposite. I'm like super minimalist.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Yeah.
this is the most I could muster.
But it's still fun. It's like your artist.
Yeah.
Overall.
Yeah, you look like you could paint some shit.
Exactly.
Am I allowed to curse?
Yeah.
Okay.
Please do.
It's encouraged company.
Yeah. Feel comfortable
Okay.
to do that.
Good.
So can you talk about a little bit about where you're from, about your background, what brought you to San Francisco?
Yeah, it's so weird. Like in my mind, my life started when I moved to San Francisco, even though it was like 5 years ago only. I went to school in San Diego. My family is all in Arizona, so two like very conservative places. And I went to a Catholic college, which is
Oh wow.
the weirdest thing. But no one in Catholic college is actually Catholic anymore. Like they all went to Catholic high school and are like gay now. Yeah, like, I don't know how else to put it, but like that's exactly what happens. Is like you become agnostic and a lesbian, which whatever, they're doing the Lord's work. So yeah, and then I moved here for my job as a tax accountant. Actually, I postponed it so I could pass my CPA exams. I was supposed to move here in like October, and then I moved here in January instead. But during that time of doing my exams is when I started Peach Fuzz.
Wow.
I just wanted, I'm sure I'm like taking up a future question you have, but yeah, when Trump was elected, I knew that like reproductive rights were going to be under fire, and I was a recent college graduate. I was like, I don't have the money to contribute to this, but like I want to do something. So I just set up a Redbubble account and made art on it, and I marketed the hell out of it. I would like crop little pictures of their merchandise and then like put it over a fancy background and be like, look at the stuff that you can buy from me. Definitely from me.
What's Redbubble? I don't know what that is.
It's like Threadless, TeePublic. Like you put your art up and then people can buy it on shirts and stickers and whatever. And now it's just like passive income for me, which is really nice.
Oh, that's nice.
So you do all the designs, but then they actually like produce it.
Yeah, and they do.
Yeah.
They carry out. I mean, they take a huge chunk. Like you get maybe 20% of the sales, but it was a good starting off to like get the money I needed to invest in inventory for real, and to get a test of like what stuff is going to do the most popular. Because there's times where like I think something's fucking genius, and everyone's like, I don't get it. And then other times where I'm like, this is not great, but I'll put it out anyways. And people are like, give us more!
Yeah.
And so you just really never know. So yeah, that was a good little waters. And now we're here. And I have like hundreds of thousands of stickers in my closet in the office.
Did you start it with the intention of it making, or not even making you money, but did you do it as more of a hobby and a way to give back, or did you do it like this? It was your intention to make it a thing and make it your business?
Well, I was always super crafty. I feel like I have like the opposite story of most people. My mom was so sad I didn't go to art school, and like that I went to school for accounting. I was like, Mom, I have to be practical. Like I want to be a rich bitch someday, and I can't do that as an artist. Little did I know.
Yeah.
Absolutely could. But I forgot the question you were asking me. Oh yeah, doing it as a hobby and stuff. I didn't really think, I felt like, okay, I'll do accounting to pay the bills, and then after work I'll draw, and if it can make me money, cool. If not, whatever. And then it just kept going and taking off. And then when the pandemic hit, I was fired from my job that I hated. So it was okay. They made it very clear that I would have been fired whether it had been pandemic or not. And I was like, that's unnecessary. And I'll never forget, I was wearing this like tiara that I'd made with sequins all around it, because that was when everyone was like, oh, do a fun Zoom background, because, you know, everyone was so bleak.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll jazz up this Zoom meeting. And I got fired while wearing that.
No.
And I was like, this is the most me thing to ever happen.
Very on brand.
Yeah. So then during the time that I was unemployed and quarantined alone, I just dove into the Peach Fuzz, and it was like a right time for activism and very inspiring on those things. And I was like, okay, I have the propensity to like do something with my privilege of like being able to do all these things, and I needed to pursue it. I ended up getting another accounting job, but only lasted there for like 5 months before Peach Fuzz was like, I'm acting like it's like anthropomorphic. Like Peach Fuzz was like, you need to focus on.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's kind of like this thing outside of you where you're like, I don't know how I ended up here, but this is where I need to go.
yeah, all of a sudden, it's funny when my friends talk about it too, because they're like, yeah, like we know you, and like I know that Peach Fuzz is successful, but like when you talk about you're in 160 stores, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay,
You don't realize
yeah,
it becomes, it's like its own entity. It's
Mhm.
like, I need your attention now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah. I would do my accounting work from 9 to 5, and then like from 5 to 10, I would fill orders every night, and just not sustainable at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
But I was lucky enough that everybody at my work was super supportive. They were very encouraging. Like they would share in the group Slack when I was doing craft shows and stuff. Versus in accounting or in tax accounting, it was very buttoned up, so it felt like a liability to like talk about my art at all. Although my desk was the only one that had decoration at it, so it's like you can suppress me only so much. But
Yeah, I'm sure their life got a lot less colorful. When
I know.
Bitches miss me, bitches. Bye.
No one to draw the flyers for the coat drive anymore.
Seriously.
So I know there's such a dichotomy between like accounting and what you're doing now. It's so funny that you went from one thing to another because they seem completely unrelated.
Yeah.
Besides, like, I'm sure it helps
the business minded
side,
stuff. Yeah. And people think that since I did taxes that I like know how to do small business taxes, which I wish. I wish that my 80-hour weeks turned into something more transferable, but I was doing taxes for like the co-founder of Salesforce. Like, not transferable knowledge at all. Like, it's if you need to trade a house with someone to avoid taxes, I know how to do that.
Okay.
But,
we'll let you know.
Yeah.
I definitely, I mean, to be completely honest, I thought it would be, you know, on
super
some,
transferable.
No.
And the worst part is like, when at the level that I was, it was all just like plugging it into a software, and you really realize like I didn't have TurboTax to my taxes because there's no way to do your taxes unless you have software to do it.
Yeah.
That's what they lobbied for. Did you know that?
No.
That like TurboTax lobbies the government to make the taxes, like the tax code, super difficult, so people have to use their service.
Wow.
That's horrible.
Yeah. So it like literally doesn't need to be that complicated for anybody.
Wow.
But it keeps tax accountants employed, I guess.
Yeah.
That is so frustrating.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh my God. My brain is just like.
Yeah, everything is the result. Everything bad is the result of just like miserable lobbying. But we can try to change that.
We can try to change that. Yeah. Well, have you always been creative? Like, is this?
Yeah. I remember having like birthday parties growing up that we would do a craft at. I come from a like family of very crafty women. I'm actually a third generation female business owner, which is kind of cool. I mean, they did engraving, so it's totally different. Like, you know, the little signs on your teacher's desk that say their name and stuff, or at a pool that says like the rules of the pool. Like they would make that. Yeah.
No peeing in the pool.
Right.
Yeah.
I always joke that like that's where I got my eye for font choices from my mom. 'Cause she'd be like, "Oh, it's kind of off center," and like that was her job, was to like see these things in it and fix it. But my grandma is also super crafty. She's actually the one that started the engraving business, then my mom took it on. And I've heard I didn't get to meet my great grandma, but I heard stories of her like making dresses out of curtains from states away that would fit perfectly.
Wow.
So
it's in your blood.
Yeah, probably.
Mm-hmm.
There was always just an abundance of craft supplies at home.
So fun.
Yeah. So I definitely got like a kickstart in the right direction. And that's how you get a mom that's like, why don't you go to art school? I'm like, no. Because then it won't be fun anymore. I want to only do what I want to do.
Yeah.
Another reason why I couldn't work a 9 to 5. I can't like motivate myself to care about things that aren't like important to me immediately, and like being separated from my labor in that way versus everything that I do on the Peach Fuzz, I know that I'm going to reap the benefits of.
Mm-hmm.
First, I mean, like I'll donate benefits and stuff, but like I'll be able to see and know like I did all that. Like I'm the reason
where it's going.
Exactly. Instead of being like, oh, you have to do it this way because it's the way it's always been done.
Yeah.
Like, I hate that.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
And you said when Trump got elected, so 2016.
Yeah. But it didn't really take off. I'm working on right now one of a zillion blog posts. I hate writing blogs, but on like the journey of my brand, because the first 2 or 3 years on Etsy, I had like maybe $500 total sales for the whole year.
Mm-hmm.
And I think last year I never know if I should like. Oh my gosh.
Anyone listening, that's Tippy.
Yes, this is the mascot.
She's 2 years old. She really wants to be included in the interview.
I'm going to scratch her ear.
She's cute. She's like, Mom, why aren't you talking to me?
I know. Why aren't you talking about me?
Yeah.
I never know if it's in poor taste to share how much money I make on these things, but like feel like people don't talk about it enough, but
I mean, with our first interview we did with someone was on pricing and knowing your worth, and she was
so hard.
Yeah, she was really just transparent, and I think it's really refreshing. So if you
Mhm.
feel called to,
Yeah.
yeah,
And I try to be transparent in like my small business tips that I've been sharing and stuff, because I do have, with my background, a huge leg up in terms of like the privilege to have those opportunities, to grow up in such a creative household where I had access to like scrapbooking materials and paints and jewelry making stuff.
yeah,
So I try to share it as much as I can. But yeah, I went from $500 on Etsy to like, I think my 1099 last year was like $79,000.
from Etsy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's amazing.
I had to pay taxes the other day, and it was like $30,000.
Whoa.
So it
know.
hurts, but it's cool.
Yeah, for sure.
So do you have your website and then you have an Etsy? Do you
Yeah.
still do Redbubble and then
Yeah,
you sell stickers as
I
well?
leave that stuff up. I was super fortunate to join TeePublic, and Threadless also is like super great to their artists. They'll send you gift cards so that you can buy your own product and advertise it, and like take your own pictures ahead of the holiday season.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they make it like very user friendly, and you can always get a discount on your own products. I tried to like move away from Etsy because they're constantly increasing their fees, and now I always say like now they're publicly traded, so they have shareholders to look after, but so does Shopify. I don't really know why they aren't as miserable, but it's a better time, I'm sure. Yeah, but like there's such a huge built-in network of customers and shoppers on Etsy that I couldn't turn that down.
Yeah.
I had too much FOMO. Fear of missed sales.
Yeah, I know. New acronym. And then how have you gone about finding wholesalers?
Ooh, I love talking about wholesaler stuff. So I don't remember really how I started. Oh, I do remember. Okay, this is a juicy story. I hated my tax accounting job, and I wanted to move somewhere that incorporated more of like accounting and art. So like I applied at Mint or Minted or whatever, with people that make the cards. And Fair. I also applied there, and they absolutely loved me there. I was like, I'm the perfect person for this job because
she's good.
Because I have like the accounting knowledge and I have the seller knowledge. Like I was their perfect person. And they all but guaranteed me the job. And at the last second, I didn't hear from them for 2 weeks. I was like, what's going on? They hired a guy from my job, from my like company that I was coming from, that had worked there less time than me because they could pay him less. Well, I mean, I don't know that's why, but like I imagine.
Probably.
Yeah.
So you were getting a job with.
I thought I was.
Okay, well, so you had applied to get a job.
And that's how I found out about Fair. And I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna put all my shit on your platform now and make a lot of money off of it.
And you've been successful with them.
Yeah. Their Top Shop program is super helpful. They have a ton of resources for the sellers as well. Like their support team is super responsive. If you upload your own retailers onto it and use their platform to create invoices and send like reminder emails, you get to use their platform for free. Versus like if someone finds you through Fair, they take 25% of the first order and then 15% after that. But like shops that I added to it are $0. But actually really started before that. Do you know Blackwater in Slow?
Yes.
Okay.
We're from San Luis Obispo.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's another place I've been.
Danielle's modeled for them and stuff.
And our art studio that we had was across the street from them.
That was the first place that ever put my stuff in
Oh,
their store.
shout out
Wait,
to
I
Erica.
love that.
I love Erica.
Oh my
She's the best.
Like, wow, so
Small
fun.
world.
Yeah. And so when I was like, hey, do you guys want to like do this through Fair? It sounds a lot easier, because before she was ordering through my DMs. Like the most like, I was like, I don't know how to do this, but I made a line sheet in PDF and I can kind of keep track of what stickers I'm sending you. So yeah, she was gave me the itch for it.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
so
love
cool.
that.
Yeah, isn't that fun?
Wow.
Isn't it fun you guys know that?
I know. Wow. We'll have to tell her about this.
Full circle.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm sidetracked now because I just been thinking about that connection.
Mhm.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and I used to email shops relentlessly. I have like a whole tutorial on this on my website, but I would go to the websites of people that I felt my stuff would look like it would be on the same shelves.
Mm-hmm.
And I would look on their website for their stockists and I would just email every single one of them and keep a list of their emails. And then when I emailed them and if 30 days had passed, or like 2 weeks or 30 days, whatever, had passed and I hadn't heard from them, I just sent them the same email again.
Oh my gosh, you're so organized.
Just kept doing that over and over. And it worked.
Yeah.
And now I don't ever email new stores because being a top shop on Fair, they just like, they promote you anyways.
So they find you. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get like I would say at least 5 new shops every week.
Wow.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
And are you doing all the packaging and like shipping from here?
Yes. I did hire an assistant last year, but she unfortunately passed away and I got a new one this year. And she's awesome, does all my packaging. She does my Etsy orders for me. Yeah, it's so nice to not have to do all that.
Yeah.
So what is your day-to-day like now that you've kind of passed that on to someone else?
My day-to-day is, gosh, I feel like every day it's different because I'm so ADHD brained. I didn't have my ADHD medicine all last week and I was like, I got nothing done. And then I just had it on Friday. The list of to-dos all crossed off on Friday. I'm like, okay, I should have known. But yeah, a ton of responding to emails, a ton of like collabs and stuff like that. I'm going to be the artist of the month for Jenny Lemons next month. So
Very cool.
yeah, thank you.
Congratulations.
I've been working on a little craft kit that we're doing together and that we're going to sell
fun.
wholesale together. And working on my window display. It's going to be my big dying earth goddess. It's like, help me, I'm dying.
Yeah.
But I made it of paper mache and it's ginormous. Yeah, just like stuff like that. And then, of course, like bullshit emails, like people from Zippo trying to say, like, stop selling lighters that look like ours. And I'm like, no! These are my best sellers. I'm not doing
You just
that.
email back, no.
I'm like, delete?
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of bullshit and a little bit of bookkeeping and stuff. And then I try to at least have one day a week where I let myself just like get stoned in the morning and draw.
Yeah.
Because that's the hardest part when you get into the like grind of doing the business part of it is I forget to do the creative side of it. And you need that to sustain it. It's like finding that balance between being an artist and being a small business.
Yeah.
You gotta wear a lot of hats.
Right, right. Someone was saying to me the other day that like all the hats that you have to wear are like, they said heavy is the crown or heavy is the head that wears the crown. I'm like, I'm not wearing a crown, I'm wearing like 16 hats. Like it's very heavy over here.
Yeah. I know.
But
Giving
it's a
yourself
lot
a
of
day
fun.
off is like, whoa, what is that?
Oh my gosh. Never.
Yeah.
Never. Except for I took 2 weeks off during Christmas. It was awesome.
Yeah.
I had like a creative reboot, like my mind was fresh.
All these ideas come flooding in. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We understand that.
Oh yeah.
Our friends are like, what are you doing this weekend? I'm like, what's a weekend?
My friends have to like convince me to take days off.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be better with it now. Before when I was doing my 9 to 5 and this, no weekends, no evenings, especially prepping for like West Coast Craft and like that market, and wholesale orders. It was just insane. So now I'm trying to like, okay, this is why I have an assistant now to like do these things that I don't need to do. I still find myself being like, I need to be productive. I need to make earrings right now. It's like, no.
Yeah.
Sit on the couch and shut up.
Yeah. There's always something you can be doing.
Always.
And especially when your business is out of your home, I'm sure it's just like it's always there. You could always be working on it. It's not like
Exactly. At least now it's like in a room that I can shut the
Yeah.
door. Versus before it was literally in my kitchen.
Yeah.
So I would just like see stuff. It was in the kitchen and the closet in our living room and under the couch, under the bed.
Just oozing
everywhere,
No
everywhere.
escaping.
Yeah.
How do you stay like organized? Do you have a system?
Organized with what?
Just everything. I feel like you like, first of all, you have so many places where orders are coming in.
Yeah, and like inventory, that blows my mind. Like the amount of inventory you probably have to keep.
Inventory, I've learned, is never easy. Even from people that have done it for years at like retailers and stuff, they even tell me, they're like, we don't know what we're doing ever.
Yeah.
We're just like hoping for the best.
Hoping that item's there.
Yeah.
Oh, got an order. Yeah, I just
it's-
got an order with jewelry and I was like, I for sure just had to like place an order for supplies so I can make that piece because I'm like, oh fuck.
Oh yeah.
My inventory was off.
We know all about
Yeah.
overselling. I oversold like 40 lighters one day. And I
Oh
was like,
no.
ugh. But yeah, it's mostly like trying to anticipate based off the reactions that I get from people online, and also mostly just like not beating myself up when I'm out of stock of things for too long.
Yeah.
Because sometimes things get lost in the mail, or I ordered sweatshirts in January that still haven't showed up yet because there was a big sweatshirt shortage apparently in January. Who would have thunk?
I know.
So yeah, it's a huge guessing game. It's nice now that there's certain things that are like core to my shop that I just keep tons in stock. Again, I'm very lucky and privileged to have the capital to buy like 500 magnets at a time, or like $3,000 worth of stickers at once. So that makes it feel a little bit better when I'm like not constantly running out of these things. Because there was a time when I would have to like keep close track of every sticker that I had, and I was like, this is not sustainable.
Yeah, you have like 4 left. You're like, okay.
Yeah, and an order for like 40, it's like, well, someone's gonna be disappointed.
Yeah.
It's gonna be both of us.
Yeah, the person's gonna like refund them.
Yes, yes. Oh, refund. My biggest issue now is things getting lost in the mail. I got 2 shops. No, I have 3 other countries that have stores that sell my stuff. International shipping.
Oh yeah, fuck that. You don't know where it is after it leaves the country.
There's no way to know.
Just pray it gets there.
I had a $1,600 wholesale order show up with the box entirely empty. Just entirely. It's all gone.
So where was it going?
Not even out of the country.
So then
Colorado garage sale. Shout out to garage sale vintage.
All right.
Yeah, and I peeled it because I buy insurance on all my packages now. You have to, and I'm not paying the shipping cost, so it doesn't really matter. I tried to get USPS to reimburse me, and they're like, "You need to bring the box in so we can inspect it." And I'm like,
"Inspect it?
What do you do when the box is missing?" Like, So another tip: just always say that the box is entirely missing. Say that the package is missing.
Well, and it's in Colorado now, so what?
Luckily,
can you mail me the box?
Luckily, they kept the box too, because
Yeah.
it took USPS forever to send me by mail a response saying like, we will deny your claim unless you bring us the box to look at. And I was like, it's been like 3 weeks now. Why would they keep this damaged box? But God bless they did.
So then what? Did they take it to the post office?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And that's where we are currently.
Okay.
I haven't heard back, but
the special post office inspector.
Yeah.
Take a look at it.
Yeah. I did have to appeal another time a package got lost, and I got my money off of it. So it is possible.
All right. That gives me hope. I'm too. Well, if it was that level of an order, like that much, you'd have to.
Yeah, normally if it's like $20, I'm just like,
it's refund it.
Yeah, exactly. Especially because like the margins on my products are really good. That's what makes wholesaling so doable for me. Like people that hand make acrylic earrings and stuff, it costs like materials and labor are very expensive for that, and wholesale is generally half of retail. And when you're trying to get a retailer to spend like $30 per pair of earrings, it's not as easy. But if I say like, you can get a sticker for $2, and then they're like, oh yeah, size up. And like the lighters, the margins are crazy on them too. So it's like I can do a lot more volume And because of that, I try to keep my stuff like affordable.
Mhm.
You know, that poverty mindset from childhood, not knowing how much money is, but your dad saying, "Hey, I have to work for that," you know.
Yeah.
So,
Stickers $4. I can get it, right?
yeah, exactly.
Well, I was gonna say activism.
Yeah.
It's a big part of your brand. Did you? So I mean, it sounds like you were inspired during that whole
Mm-hmm.
scary time.
But I've always been like a loud mouth.
Okay, you've always been like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
So you were just like, this is
This
the
is my
perfect
time to shine.
Yeah, my mom always said to me, like in college, she was like waiting to get a phone call from the police saying I'd been like arrested for protesting or something, which I was like, okay, I don't go out that much, but
Yeah.
let's be reasonable. But yeah, I've always been the one to like, I would like call out people in high school for using the R word when like no one else would say anything.
Yeah.
Cause like, no, fuck, like if you don't like me, in high school, I was very like, if I'm a bitch, then no one can be mean to me and no one can dislike me because I did it on purpose.
Yeah.
So, definitely not the same anymore. What was my train of thought? Oh, activism and stuff. Yeah, and I am very aware of the privilege that I have and what I can do with it. There's a quote, I have it up on my wall by Tony Cade Mumbara. I'm probably butchering that name. But it says, the role of the artist is to make the revolution irresistible. And I'm like, yes.
Noted on it.
That one. I want to, like, it's not always appropriate to talk about police brutality with, like, sparkles and rainbows. So, like, you have to do some tone matching. But if it can be fun and, like, if you can lower the barrier to entry for people to have these discussions and talk about, like, you know, why is abortion actually healthcare? Or if they see a clever design and are like, oh, that's funny, and then they look closer and read that it's like something super progressive.
Yeah.
I like sneak attack.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like I can slither in there and make you progressive.
For sure. I think it's I don't know, it's just so appropriate with the times. And
Oh yeah.
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 You hit it right on the nose. Like it's I think there's so many things that had to come together to like bring you to this moment. So it's always so interesting to hear people's stories because, like you said, it's become its own entity. It's like it's like a person.
Yeah, and I love explaining things with analogies.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I figured out like, oh, I can explain what it means to defund the police by like showing a puppy dog that's holding too many packages that like need to be dispersed to other people to hold them.
Mm-hmm.
And I had someone message me and be like, my conservative grandma saw that picture and was like, oh, I actually understand what that means now. Like it's not getting rid of the packages. It's giving them to the people that are more equipped to handle them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, grandma, yes, it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'll see her at the protest. So being able to do like infographics and stuff, I haven't done those as much lately, but when I released last year, my rehabilitation, not incarceration, sure, I'm just like tripping over my words. I did a lot of research for that, and the reason it took me so long to post that one was because the research was so painful and like upsetting.
Yeah.
Did you know that you have to pay your parole officer to monitor you in most states?
No.
You have to pay them a fee.
Oh wow.
What the fuck is that? And when you leave prison, you get gate money, but it's like $5. Like you can't even get a bus ticket with that. So it's like,
Wow.
oh, you were in this shitty circumstance based off of like, you know, class, race, just circumstance in general. We're just gonna make it worse by removing you from your community and like dressing you every day and feeding you every day so you don't have that routine that is so important. And then we're also going to charge you more fees. Like you can go to jail and prison just for not paying a parking ticket. Like if it gets to that point.
Yeah.
So it's literally just like penalizing people for being poor. And I was like, that makes me sick to my stomach.
Yeah.
But Root and Rebound is what the proceeds on that go to. And they're a fantastic organization that has I think it's all in California. And they do like re-entry programs to help with like job training. And That's the other thing. You can be a barber in prison, but in a lot of states, you'll be barred from actually getting your haircutting license once you leave prison if you're convicted. Like if you're a convicted felon. So it's like, yeah, you can learn a trade, but
Yeah, but you can't
practice it
in your life.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just like all these rules, it's like,
Yeah.
It's so disheartening.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's like, who is this benefiting?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And of course, it's like a middle class white woman. I can't even like imagine the toll that takes on entire communities. So I don't know how people can like sit idly by while that's happening and just be like, oh, well, I just think people should be nice to each other. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just ignorance.
Yeah. And it's, I just don't get it. But
removing yourself so far that it's
yeah,
not even in your sphere of
right
existence.
And I totally get that, like, you know, everyone has to pick their battles and stuff. Like, we can't be an activist on every single issue. You'll get super overwhelmed. But you should at least have one.
Yeah. Well, and just even to hold awareness, you know,
Exactly.
just for like now these things are in our world and we'll be more aware of them, you know. I think just the more people that hold awareness about these issues that they may have not had any idea, then you can actually pick like, oh, this resonates with me or I want to help with this, you know. But it's amazing that you're like creating these resources.
Hold on. Can I do this real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. I need paper.
I'm gonna check something too. We'll just take a little.
Like a little fiber.
Yeah.
I'm talking a lot, so
No,
that's the
interrupt me.
point.
Okay.
That's the point.
I always say, like, being self-employed and working by myself, anytime someone comes and, like, will talk to me, I'm just like, let me tell you everything.
No, totally fine. Well, that's what's so great about the long form conversation is people want to listen to you for a long time.
And they're not going to be able to learn this much about you in like most other settings, you know.
Right.
Instagram stuff is so short, like stories.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
All right. Let's see. Let's pick up on it.
That's why I like doing, like, in-person stuff, because I feel like people can get a better sense of
Who you are.
Yeah. Someone told me recently, they were like, your stuff was cool, and then I met you, and I was like, this is so much cooler. And I was like, that's exactly
What I want.
what I'm going
Yeah.
for. And also, thank you.
Yeah. Scoot in just a little bit. Cool.
Nice.
All right. Starting over.
Do you want me to start or do you want to start?
Do you have a question?
Sure.
All right, Erin, we're starting again.
So what does your creative process look like and where do you find inspiration for your products and your art?
It's a great question. It's kind of everywhere. Whenever I get properly stoned, I'll come up with like a list of things. I'm like, oh, this is fucking genius. And then I'd have to go back afterwards and be like, okay, that's not as funny as you thought it was or whatever. Sometimes it'll just hit me. I have a long list of like puns and stuff like that. I always say also that this is like, you know, my career in comedy didn't work out, so this is what I do instead. I used to fancy myself to be a very funny person on Twitter. So I was like, okay, let's just translate all these like jokes and puns and lame things into graphics.
Mm-hmm.
But I told someone recently also like a great form of inspiration is just like going to a corner store and looking at packaging.
Mm-hmm.
Like it sounds so simple, but I'm like, oh, what can I make look like a Kit Kat bar, but like say something different?
Mm-hmm.
Like my Abolish Ice design.
Yeah, like it's like the Slurpee.
Yeah. I was like gobsmacked when I thought of that, and I immediately looked up online. I'm like, someone has to have done this before, and they had it. Oh my god, that was my gold mine. That was one of the ones that like really pissed me
It
off.
really is like iconic.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I've had people come up to me before and be like, wait, that's your design? And I'm like, oh, it
Like
precedes
hair
me.
flip.
Yes.
Yes. It is.
Yes. And someone sent it from my shop to the PO box of this really big Twitch streamer, Hasanabi.
Mm-hmm.
And I got like 40 orders for it that day. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, why am I getting so many orders? And I messaged one of the people, like, you mind telling me where you guys are all coming from?
Mhm.
And they told me. I've been watching his stream ever since. I get a lot of ideas from that too, because he covers current events all day. And a very like tongue-in-cheek, and like you can be a leftist and still like laugh and make jokes. Like if no one's gonna die, it's okay. And I sent him some of my stuff before too, and got so many sales off of it. Best $70 I ever spent was getting my stuff into his PO box.
That's awesome.
But yeah, that's a lot of the inspiration. Is just like things that I'm listening to, what's going on, pretty pictures, other artists. Yeah.
I went to visit my sister a couple weeks ago, and I went into her bedroom. She lives in LA, and your art was on her wall.
Stop.
And I was like, Carly, I'm gonna interview her. And I was like, you know who that is? She's like, I had a Peach Fuzz. And I was like, Carly.
Which one was it?
It was the cowboy like outline on the
Oh,
horse.
the high horse one.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that one so much.
Mm-hmm.
It's so silly and dumb.
And there was another one. She's a big fan.
Oh my gosh, that's so fun. Next time she makes an order, tell her to leave a little note and I'll put goodies in it for her.
my god.
I keep a bin of like, I call it my treasure chest of like imperfect products. So when people come over, you guys can rate it afterwards. You just like pick whatever you want, because
So
it's like, I
fun.
can't sell these things, but it costs me like 30 cents per sticker.
Your Michael sticker. What is it? Get in bitch.
Oh,
Michael's.
it says get in bestie. We're going to
Bestie.
Michael's. Because before it said get in loser, but I'm like, no, if you're going to Michael's, you're besties.
Yeah.
And you're about to do some bomb crafts.
Yeah.
I really want to do more like virtual craft night sort of things. My friends and I, pre-pandemic, every Wednesday was craft night. We would all come, bring whatever we were working on, and it was just like a couple hours to hang out, watch like shitty reality TV,
Mm-hmm.
and work on your craft. We're starting to get back into it, but I'm doing a craft night for Jenny Lemons that's going to be virtual and free. It's painting jeans that like, because it's Earth Month, and I have a bunch of jeans that like are super comfy, but crazy camel toe or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm like, if I paint them, it'll be
Yeah.
distracting.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing for the craft night.
That is so
Anybody wants to
fun.
show up.
That's
It's virtual, but
When is that?
I should know this. It's Earth Day, April 22nd.
Okay. Yeah, it should come out before that. So if
Yeah.
you want to
Yeah, it's free.
check it out.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I have lots of jeans like that, and people are like, where did you get those? And then ask me if I sell them. I'm like, fuck no. I'm
Yeah.
not selling it. But you can do it.
Yeah, like the one-offs.
Yeah.
That's a big thing as like any kind of small business owner, realizing just the ins and outs of like if you make one of a kind things, it's so hard to replicate that. And then your disco ball pillow,
Yes.
you made it?
Yes.
Oh,
I don't ever want to make one again, but it's so cool.
no, it's so cute.
It was scrap fabric and a ornament pillow tutorial I found from like some huge DIY blog. But yep, I know the feel of being like, I'm never making that again.
And then people are like,
Takes so
can
much
I have
work.
that? And you're like, yeah.
And then you make more, and then no one buys them. That's the other thing.
yeah.
It's like, please make patches,
I
make
had one of
patches.
those, and then you're like, all right, it's available, and they're like, I'm good.
Yeah, I
You're
mean,
like, cool.
like later I have had patches in my shop, the same ones for like over a year because people wanted patches. I gave them patches, and they're like, no thanks.
I changed my mind.
Yeah.
Cool.
I like the idea of that, but I don't actually want it. You're
Right.
Great.
I was worried about that with my 420 launch that's coming up on April 1st. But there's like little containers and stash boxes and stuff, and I'm like, okay, I use the heck out of these, but will other people? So I hope so. All my friends use theirs. I've gotten great feedback.
Good.
So I'll have to show you guys them. They're so cool. And I had somebody else that I met at Outside Lands, Marissa, that does If Only. That'll be another great person. I'm not like stepping on toes, be like, here's who you should interview next. But she's fantastic. Did
Which
all
one
of
was she?
she didn't have a booth. She was just
gotcha,
attending. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And she has a studio in Marin and does photography, like product photography and Instagram and marketing, all that kind of stuff. And she ordered a milk bar cake for my baked sale, is what I'm calling, because the little containers they get baked on them,
Uh-huh.
and it looks like a cake. The cake was so yummy.
Oh.
But also the pictures came out incredible. I'm all about like this year I'm trying to outsource more things too.
Yeah. So she did product shots for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're just she like created the universe that I feel like my products were always meant to live in.
Mm-hmm.
Like very colorful, disco balls, like sparkles everywhere. And as you can tell by my house, that's exactly
That's who you are.
that's exactly what I want. Yeah.
That's the best when someone can execute your vision, especially like you said. I know in the businesses we've had, like it's so hard to outsource sometimes because you're like, I want to be a part of every part of the process because I'm really particular. I want it done my way, but it's like not sustainable.
Right. And like
nice
I'm not
to
a
know
web
that's
developer or something.
Yeah,
Like no wonder
yeah.
my website is like kind of shitty right now. It's like
Can
if
only
I
do so many things.
somebody. Yeah, there's people that do this for a living. If we can like, and also with like commission work, I hate like I said before, I hate doing stuff that I don't want to do.
Yeah.
So if someone's like, oh, can you commission, like, will you do a commission for this logo or whatever? I can say no, but I can refer them to other artists that I know and that I've like built a rapport with.
Mhm.
I really want to make a directory of
That's a
like,
good idea.
of web developers, product photographers, illustrators, podcasters, you know,
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing really like that. Like the equivalent of what Etsy does, but for non-Etsy
Mhm.
stuff.
Yeah.
Instead of
Like
like,
not for products, but other creative.
yeah.
endeavors.
Because if you Google search, it's gonna give you like Macy's 1,000 times. And I don't want that.
I know. Well, speaking of like resources, you've been really great with sharing. Yeah,
It's
not
so fun.
gatekeeping. You're like, here's the things I know. Let me share them.
Yeah. It's kind of tricky because I, like I said before, grew up in this environment. Like, I would help my mom organize her invoices and stuff by alphabetical order. And I was always in that realm, and I went to school for business. And in my mind, I'm like, what do you mean you don't have income? You don't have an income statement? You don't have, like, you don't keep track of your sales? Like, straight up raw dogging their finances. And I'm like, you need to, please don't do that. Like, it gives me anxiety to think about that. So I'm like, I will make you a template. Everybody please use it.
Yeah.
And I will feel better about it.
Totally. I've told other people I know who run a small business, and like, you have to check out her.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super fun. And also, no one, these are things that, like, being self-employed, you're not, who are you talking to about these things?
Mhm.
Nobody. So then no one knows, like, what to charge, like you were saying, or how to package a hat, I was trying to figure out the other day, or how to do booth displays and stuff like that. And I've also learned that if you're the first person to share how you do it, everybody automatically thinks that yours is the best because it's the only one that they're seeing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yes.
Everyone's like, you're amazing.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, okay,
You're like,
cool.
here's a spreadsheet. They're like, what?
Yeah. No, I think they're like, oh, okay.
I know.
I know when
And I'm
I
like,
do spreadsheet.
spreadsheet.
Yeah. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
And I get excited because I'm like, it's like a Sudoku. It's so fun.
I'll shift my mindset to that.
Yeah.
Next time I look at
I
my
try to make
spreadsheet's
it colorful, at least.
Yeah. No, yours is
So,
good.
Yeah.
I need to.
I need to
We're
I need to
raw
work on
dogging our
Yeah.
finances.
When you said that, I'm just sitting here silently like,
Uh-huh. You don't even want to know what we do behind closed doors when it comes to our businesses.
well, you know, we'll get there.
Yeah.
This will set us on the path forward of
Good.
Be
getting.
inspired.
The IRS doesn't care what us small potatoes people are doing. You know, they're worried about people who are taking their whole family on the private company jet.
Yeah.
So
We're not quite there yet.
yeah,
We will
Almost.
Give us a couple years.
almost.
We'll invite you on the private chat.
Yeah, we can. That's what we'll take to Firefly next year.
Yes. Perfect. It'll happen.
So what advice would you give a small business owner or someone that's thinking about starting a small business?
You've got to be your own biggest fan. And not in the way of like, I feel like I'm starting every sentence with like, I always say, but I say a lot of things repeatedly. I'm just like a one trick pony. But
It's fine.
yeah.
It's fine.
I am not ever afraid to get hyped about myself. I hate that, like, I don't really make the kind of stickers or shirts that I personally want to wear. And that makes me feel shitty sometimes because I'm like, I'm not even making stuff I want. But I'm looking at this stuff every single day. Like I see these stickers every day I walk into my office. When you're at a music festival or craft show and someone sees your work for the first time and lose their shit, you just gotta hold on to that.
Yeah.
Like it's not getting stale, it's just getting stale to you because you look at it all the time. You have to ignore people who are like, I could just make that. And I've started saving all the really nice messages I get from people so I can have like a highlight reel that I can read when I feel mega depressed about like, I'm gonna make these things and no one's ever gonna buy it and I'm gonna be stuck with inventory for the rest of my life and blah, 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 blah. Like at the beginning of the year, I was freaked out. I was like, what if last year was just like a fluke and I can't do it again? And my best friend, who now does my emails and stuff, which is pretty tight, was like, you literally do this like once a quarter. Just like you get scared that no one's gonna buy your shit. They'll buy your shit. Just like keep going. Yeah, hyping yourself up and being comfortable selling your own products. That was another thing that she helped me with. She would make me practice talking about my own art and saying like, yes, my name's Elizabeth and I'm an artist versus like, you are, I like make stickers. Like you have to be like, yeah, this is what I do and it's fucking tight. And like if you don't, like you're gonna love it. Come see it. There's no way you can't like it.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't feel that way, but you just gotta fake it.
Yeah.
I was all theater majors in college, so
There you go.
I got a little. I'm like an honorary theater major.
Yes.
Just executing it in a different.
You're
capacity.
playing an art.
Yeah,
An artist.
I'm playing an artist.
Yeah. I'm an artist.
Yes. Can't you tell by my outfit?
Yeah. That's us with the podcast. People are like, what are you guys doing? We're like, we're podcasters. It's like,
Yeah.
But we are.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
I drew a thing. I'm an artist now.
Yeah. Whatever you're doing, that's what you do.
Yeah.
Be proud of it. And it's so funny because other people talking about you so confident be like, oh my gosh, you should see what Elizabeth makes.
Right, and hearing that enough times, at Firefly, someone came up and asked to take a picture with me.
Oh,
That was
That's
like
the best.
the
That's so
sweetest
cool.
moment of my life. Like she made her boyfriend come and like she met me, freaked out, and then came back later with her boyfriend and was like, can you take a picture with me?
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, yes, this is.
I know.
Luckily, I didn't look like a clown that day, but it almost would have been cooler if I did because she would have shown her friends and they would have been like, you met a psychopath.
You're all in it.
Yeah, exactly.
So funny. Yeah, it's the trippiest experience when someone recognizes you. People always call me by my jewelry brand, Anahata. They're like,
Mhm.
Anahata? And I'm like,
Mhm.
that's not my name, but hey.
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah. I love when people are like, oh, you work for the Peach Fuzz?
Right.
I'm like, bitch, I am the Peach
I
Fuzz.
created the
It is
Peach
me.
Fuzz.
I am the Peach Fuzz. The Peach Fuzz is me.
And peach, yeah.
Yeah. Exploring a personality outside of my brand is something that I'm currently like trying to figure out.
Yeah.
Because it became all encompassing. And now I'm at a cool point where I can make crafts and then sell it and people will want to buy it. But not everything needs to be for profit. I need to like get that capitalism mindset out of there and be like, you can do things just to enjoy them and like give them to people.
It's so hard.
I struggle
So
with
hard.
that. I'm like, the minute I start doing anything creative, it's like,
Like,
okay,
how do
no,
I
that's-
how do I maximize the profit?
Yeah.
Who's gonna buy this? Can I wholesale it? Can I afford to do that?
It's such a balance. Because at the same time, who are you not to do that? You know?
Right.
I guess it
That's
depends
a
on.
freaking superpower to be able to do that.
If I can
Yeah.
write off 1,000 rhinestones,
Great.
absolutely. I did that this morning. I ordered $43 worth of like rhinestones and glitter. And I was like,
Amazing.
it's gonna be awesome. But yeah, there are ways to work it, but having time to just like do crafts. But my love language is gift giving, so I'm trying to like lean into that a little bit more. That's why I profusely, I'm like, come see my treasure chest, let me give you things. In high school, I would make people cupcakes because they always really liked me when I gave them cupcakes. I'm just like, just now, last night, realizing how sad that is. But I'm like, now I'm doing that professional.
Hey, whatever works for you.
I'm like, I know how to make people like me. This is a life hack. Give them cool things.
and it's your love language. It's one of your love
Yeah.
languages.
Yeah,
Yes.
it works out. It
Yeah.
works out. I love when people will leave nice notes in like their orders and stuff, and I get to put other stuff in there, or like fellow artists. Do you know Clarice Tudor?
Mhm.
She makes these doggies.
Cute.
Oh my gosh, so
I've
cute.
been like a massive fan of hers forever, and she placed an order on my website last week, and I was like, this is
Hell yeah.
this is the coolest. At Outside Land, someone was like, I feel like you would really like, do you know the artist Clarice Tudor? And I'm like, I talked to her this morning. Like,
So cool.
The
Was she at
cool-
Outside Lands?
no, she's in
Oh.
the UK.
Oh, okay.
But just like to be categorized in that realm is so surreal to me, because in my mind I'm still just like hustling, and I can't believe I'm doing like West Coast craft. When I got accepted West Coast craft, I'm like, oh, I guess they're accepting anybody now. Like, that's what I told myself. That's so unhealthy. But yeah, that's another like advice for small business people is like, no one knows what they're doing. The people that you look up to as like, oh, I'll make it when I have like a recognizable name. Or like Christina McCarty, also super nice. She was at Outside Lands, and like talking with her about making one design that you like and putting on like 6 different products. I was like, oh, I'm not a lazy bitch. Like, this is just how business works.
Yeah.
And having those reality checks with yourself are super important.
Yeah. I feel like there's like more pressure on creatives as far as like when you're making your business. And I mean, I'd be interested what you feel about like females in business. Like this weird pressure of like, what am I trying to
I don't know any men in business.
Okay.
Men, never heard of them.
But like this pressure to be like uber creative and to
Oh yeah.
have like an original product for each thing. But like you said, like, oh, this would look good on a shirt, this would look good on a lighter, this would look good on whatever.
And that's that balance between like being an artist and being a business person is like feeling like I need to put new content on my Instagram feed all the time. I'm making so much goddamn money for Mark Zuckerberg by being on Instagram all the time. And I think about that constantly, like all of us are.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's sidetrack. I get these little like, can you believe that they lobby for this shit?
I know.
But
Can you believe that Mark Zuckerberg?
I know. Like, cut me a check, Zucky.
I know.
Give me some of that. What was it when he talks about the smoked meats? Have you seen that video? I think about it way too often. He's like, sweet baby Ray.
Oh, yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
smoking some meats.
Oh my
Just not even human.
God. He's the weirdest.
Why does his skin look like that? It looks like a cadaver.
He does
Him
not
drinking
look
the
like
water.
a human.
You've seen that video, right? He drinks the water in
Oh.
court.
Yes. And when they photoshopped him to make him look like he had a huge dumpy.
Oh.
That's my favorite.
Oh my god.
Like a big, like they photoshopped a chair out big and
Oh
stuff.
my god.
Yeah.
I love the internet.
Love the
Internet humor is just next level.
I know. I need to make more. I need to memify and stuff. I have water bottle handles now. These. I want to make a meme of like the Arthur hand when he's like clenching, but it's like holding a water bottle handle.
Oh my gosh, you totally should.
So that's gonna be my task for today. Because I worked through my usual art day, which is Fridays, and so now I have to do this weekend.
But what a life.
I
At the
know.
same time.
I know.
Life of an artist.
I know. I was like doing paper mache and painting, and I'm like, this is my job.
Mm-hmm.
Truly never lost on me. Like I have that moment at least once a week, being like, I'm not getting paid to do that, but like kind of.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have to listen to anybody else.
Yeah. What do you do when you feel uninspired? Like, do you ever have those
Panic.
moments? Okay.
And freak the fuck out. All of January, I was like, what if I never have a creative idea ever again? What will happen? And then, of course, I'll have like one day or a week where I just crank out like 12 designs.
Yeah.
I just have to, I know that I will have a creative idea again, that I'm not permanently broken. It's frustrating as hell to wait through that period, but I know that I will come back from it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like talking yourself off the ledge, sort of being like, it's going to be fine. Just do other stuff while you're in this period. Don't force it. Because that's the thing with art too, of like, in another job, you can sit down and be like, okay, I have to do this data entry. But like, I can't just sit down and be like, I have to come up with a creative idea and draw it, like,
When you force art, it's never good.
no, I can't just turn that shit on. I mean, maybe other people can, which props to them, but I don't have the attention or like.
I think maybe people are good at perceiving they have that skill, but I don't think
That's
that
the other
anyone,
thing. No one knows what they're
no,
doing. No one.
no one fucking knows.
No one.
And anyone who pretends they do, they're faking it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's very refreshing once you like unlock that in your brain.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, oh, we're all just like
Winging it.
on this giant rock hurling through space.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fine.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Do the best you can.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the other thing with like people set goals and stuff. I'm like, I don't know. I just do the best I can every single day
Mm-hmm.
and hope for the best.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean making a goal? I'm like, yeah, I'd like to sell more, but what am I gonna do if I don't meet that goal?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's nothing. I don't know what can I do?
Yeah. Just move. Just keep on. Keep
Just
it on.
keep going and
What am I gonna do?
adjust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Punish myself. Go sit in your
Yes,
room.
that is absolutely probably what I'm gonna do though.
Yeah.
But yeah, being an artist is a lot of like learning to not what is it called, like self-flagellate or whatever, when they like whip their backs.
Oh.
Just like punish yourself
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
you know
Punishment. Yeah.
not getting enough done.
Beat yourself up. It's like,
Mhm.
okay, well. And again, we live in a world that isn't really set up for creatives and artists to be successful. It's like the starving artist is.
But kind of we are now.
Now we are.
Now
And
we
I
are.
think people like you are creating a narrative where it's like, no, you can fucking become a rich bitch, like you said.
Yeah, I think that the pandemic, ironically, like it was devastating for a lot of businesses, but it gave people wanted to shop small like more than ever, and that became like super trendy. And shopping from local boutiques and online on Etsy and whatever became way cooler than shopping from Amazon, thank God. So it's like the perfect storm right now. And with the tools of like these websites like Redbubble and TeePublic and stuff, and they make it super easy. Like they reached out to me the other day and they're like, we noticed that you had stuff on Redbubble that wasn't on TeePublic. Here's a Dropbox. Just put your stuff in there and we'll upload it all for you.
Oh my gosh.
I still haven't done it. But yeah, they know how it's like the environment is right for this stuff.
Yeah.
So it's no longer the starving artist. But there's definitely starving artists out there. I just say I'm not starving, but I'm almost always hungry.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think it's like actively working through that.
Yeah.
Narrative. You know, it's like anything in life. Like we were raised with a certain idea about something, and then you know, if you happen to walk into that space and you realize, oh, it doesn't have to be this way. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I just know from experience too. It's like it's different. You know, it's like you have to pave your own way rather than someone
Totally different.
telling you like first you do this, then you do this.
And it
then you
seems
do this.
really irresponsible to be an artist, I think. Maybe that's just me, but like making the decision to leave my 9 to 5 and like leave behind healthcare and a 401k. I mean, they didn't match my 401k, but like, you know,
Stability.
yeah, all that stuff to be like, no, actually, I'm going to believe in myself a little and having that pay off and be like, oh, it's actually responsible to do what's best for you.
Yeah.
Not what you've been told your whole life is like the only way to succeed. Like, you know, 9 to 5, have kids, have a family,
Yeah.
be a stay-at-home wife.
Yeah.
Just want to be a stay-at-home person.
Yeah. Just make your art.
Yep.
Get stoned.
Yeah.
If you want.
Yep.
Crack orders.
I'm sure it's super difficult, the art sphere, for like people who want to sell paintings. I can't imagine, but like there are ways to make. I just thought everybody fucking make stickers.
Well, and I think that's what I'm saying. I think you're doing more than just selling product. Like I said, you're shifting the narrative as far as what an artist is. It's like you have to get creative with how you're going to sell your art.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I was saying with the one-offs. It's like, I get it. I understand
Yeah.
the true artist of like, I made this one painting
Mm-hmm.
and that's it. And whoever gets it, you know, pay me $4,000 or whatever. But still, it's like, you know,
That
you gotta
requires
be
so much more heavy lifting in the marketing department
Yeah.
too. That I just
And it's not as accessible. Like I love that your products are so accessible to anyone, everyone.
Yeah, I try to keep it affordable based off my margins and stuff. Like, I realized the other day I was selling hats at outside brands for $35. I'm like, who the fuck do I think I am? That's insane. $45, $35, yeah. I mean, and that's not even that bad, but like,
expensive?
I think that's expensive.
Wow.
But
That's why you're doing so well.
yeah, I sold out of them still.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I don't need to like have that big of margins.
Yeah.
I always thought like, why can't they lower the price and then more people will buy it? That'll increase sales, won't it? And I was like, doesn't work that way. I'm like, actually,
You're just like twirl dancing over here.
It
like,
does.
Watch me do it.
Yeah, exactly. Why did my mind immediately go to like, that'd be a great reel for TikTok?
Yeah.
It's I have brain rot now.
You know the one that's like, I'm spinning like a ballerina.
No.
Oh, that's your
perfect
song.
audio for it.
Oh, I need to find that.
Oh,
We
yeah.
basically just speak in TikTok references these days. It's crazy.
Ever someone's surprised, I'm like, you're shocked? You're shocked? Don't
Yeah.
be shocked.
I know.
And I have to be like, okay, I just turned off my brain and turned into a robot for a second. Let me come back.
Danielle and I all do yesterday. She'd be like, that's not the vibe. You know that one? She's like screaming, that's not the vibe.
No.
Oh my God. Anyway, we're on different TikToks apparently.
I am a stranger to TikTok.
Oh, okay.
I started on Reels reluctantly, and I now rely on my friends to send me trending audio on TikTok. I don't know what's going on. I follow like a baby monkey
Okay.
and stores that carry my stuff, and that's about it.
That's probably a lot better. That's probably all you need to follow. Yeah, Danielle and I made a TikTok yesterday of Kardashian audio. That's become like my niche is like Kardashian audios.
I want to find more Housewives audio
Oh,
because
I would love that too. I don't think I've really come across those.
no, and if you search it, it does not.
You gotta make your own.
I don't know how to
Add
write
that-
audio like that.
Add that to the to-do list.
Just
Right.
go up to the TV with your phone.
Like you did like back in the day, where it's like, oh, this is gonna be my ringtone for
Yeah.
the radio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like my humps or something. Terrible.
You can hear some like talking in the background.
Yeah.
Well, how have you felt about the community you've built? I feel like your audience is really like inclusive and
Yes.
it's just so cool to watch how like proud people are to own your things.
I did not know that, but that is very cool.
Yeah. I mean, at least like again, my sister.
Yeah.
She's like fangirling so hard. And it's not like a normal fangirl. It's like I said, your products are so much more than just a thing. They have purpose to them.
The messages that I get
Yeah.
are, I will never forget. Someone messaged me and they were like, I live in a small town in the South, and like I am a leftist, and all of my ideals are seen as like super radical and like contrarian and stuff. And it's like disheartening to hear people be like, oh yeah, Black Lives Matter is like radical.
Mhm.
Like it really shouldn't be. Like basic caring for other people and these issues that they're facing is not as radical as you think it is. So like, and they said like, you know, my products that are being sold so wide and like well then bought by people and having that community and seeing like, oh, okay, there are other people who still have like basic human decency and stuff is super inspiring, and it gives me hope that things will change. I'm still, you know, not pessimist but like realist of like, you know, I bought a print the other day that says electoral politics will not save us.
Yeah.
It's like I'm aware of the realities, but you can try.
I mean, that's all you can do. It's
Right.
again, okay, the word just like it's just so disheartening.
Mm-hmm.
Like you look at the politics and what's going on, you're
It's
like,
gross.
what the actual fuck? How are you that like evil on the
Yeah.
inside? I don't
Oh.
understand.
Yeah, just pure straight evil. I don't know. I mean, there's all money in it and stuff, and I think exposing that and like holding people more. I'm so sidetracked from your question, but the community is great.
No, you're fine.
I tried for a while to do the whole technique of like, oh, I'll post things that are controversial, and then people will fight in the comments, and that's engagement.
Mhm.
It was so bad for my mental health
Yeah.
because I want to respond to everybody that thinks like abortion is killing an unborn human being. What if they had the cure to cancer? And like arguments that are so dumb that you're like, I don't even know how to combat.
How to talk to you.
Yeah, I'm like, yes, okay, cool, you won. Because I don't know what you're talking about. Like, what is this? So, I mean, it worked for engagement and stuff. And I see now how, like, on Facebook, you know, how their algorithms, like, make people do that. It is, like, anything that people are going to argue about is great for engagement. But it's just, like, such a toxic thing to create, and you don't really create like a community that way. So shifting to doing like helpful resources and stuff has been so cool. People are so willing to share, and being able to be the voice that I was for myself, but like 3 years too late for other people is super fun.
Yeah.
And like I want to see my friends in stores next to my stuff. Like I just saw Salad Days in Millworks next to my stuff. I was like, hell yeah, I'm in great company here.
Yeah.
So there's lots of reels and TikToks about people being like, it's very rude to ask me where I get my resources because you're disregarding all the work that I had to spend to find it. It's like, I don't want more shitty art out there.
Yeah.
If I can tell you where to get nice like enamel pins made instead of garbage ones, we're going to reduce waste that way. And it's just going to be better all around. And then my manufacturers are going to like me more because I'm referring people. Now with Fair, you can refer people and you get like a commission for a new artist that sign up.
Yeah.
So that's pretty sick. I've even told people like, hey, if you do this and remember to use the link, like I will split this with you.
Yeah.
Because there's no reason why you can't like
both win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you think that other people having access to the same resources as you is going to lose you business, you need to get way more confident in what you make.
Yeah,
because
it's such a lack mindset.
Yeah, exactly. And having more people who are interested in like creating a bigger market by other people succeeding is going to be good for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
And also people want to support people who support them.
Yeah.
So I've gotten huge support from that stuff. And it's so like the hardest part about it is writing a blog. It's so easy to share and answer people's questions. There's something like some cards I keep closer to my chest, like where I make my lighters and stuff like that. Cause it's like, that's my bread and butter.
Mm-hmm.
And if you make a lighter, that's a direct competitor to mine. But if you also want to make pins, there's no way that they're going to be like similar to mine.
Yeah.
And if they are, then we'll have a conversation.
Yeah.
Like I know that my stuff is unique enough that like you using the same manufacturer is not going to make somebody be like, actually, I don't like your stuff anymore. I'm going to go buy this one.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how.
We'll have both.
And you're building so much trust too, which is how you do build a community online or anywhere. It's like that's such a huge part of it.
And then people are more willing to share with me also, like where they get stuff and what they use. Or I wish that Facebook wasn't so like out of style because I find myself wanting to post like, hey, how are people packaging X, Y, and Z? I would love to get like people commenting and feedback on it. And just maybe a network for that exists, but
I feel like Reddit might be a good place for that too.
Reddit, yes, but there's so much to sift through.
Yeah,
it's true.
But maybe if I made a subreddit, I don't know if anybody can do that.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Because the blogs on Shopify, you can't respond to people's comments.
Oh.
What the fuck is the point? A blog is meant to like spark conversation.
Yeah.
Tippy's back and Muddy.
Well, I think one of the things that we admire about you is that you are able to really show up as yourself authentically, and I feel like that's rare to see, and that's obviously what we're all about. So, what would you say living authentically means to you?
It's so refreshing to hear that as like a positive, because I remember when I worked in tax accounting, like everybody's super buttoned up, and I'm like, I'm the same person all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to like turn on my professional voice or I cursed in the first 5 minutes. I mean, granted, this isn't like super laced up or anything, but I don't know how to be anything other than like me.
Yeah.
And overshare. Yeah, overshare and
Authentic. We're authentically recording this right
yeah, exactly. And also realizing that when I share the things that make me the most, like, feel the most alone, and hearing other people be like, that's exactly how I feel. Immediately, just like a huge weight is lifted off of you. Like, I remember the first time that I really did this, that was something like super vulnerable. I was talking about my sexuality and how, like, I've always been in straight relationships, but I'm attracted to women, and like I feel like I'm gaslighting myself constantly, like, you're not gay enough to, like, count yourself as queer or something, and feeling like I need to prove myself to somebody, or being like, well, you've never dated a woman, so how can you say that, like, you would want to do that? And you're like, no, your sexuality is not limited to what experiences you've had.
Yeah.
You can be anything that you feel like being, and having just an outpouring of support from other people that are like, I feel the same exact way. This was super validating, and getting the opposite of the reaction that I've been giving myself is what I almost always receive in response. Like, and that's why the other day it was just to, like, farm serotonin, but I posted about, like, I've been struggling with depression a lot lately, and not that it feels better knowing that other people are going through it, but
you feel less alone.
yeah, and you feel less broken and less crazy, and then you can say, like, oh, maybe it's just like the weather or something, and, like, not to do with me.
Yeah.
And, like, oh, everybody's going through this right now.
Yeah.
So it's really, like, a tool for reminding myself of my humanity, and that, like, we're all going through weird stuff. Like, not everything's going to be super relatable, like, you know, losing someone to COVID or something like that. But there are little things that, like, you know, if that's the main focus in your life, that all day, every day, you're like, you're a fake gay. What are you doing? Like, you're just trying to fit in with the other queers in San Francisco, and, like, you're not really like this. And just constantly berating yourself, and then just being able to turn that off is like, oh,
Yeah.
so nice.
Yeah.
And, like, nothing matters. So, like, at the end of the day,
Danielle says that. That's like Danielle's mantra.
yeah.
But in, like, such a positive way.
Yeah. I have a little card from Therese to Oregon, and it says, it ain't matter so much. I'm like, yeah, it doesn't. It ain't.
So true.
Yeah. And the things that, like, I focus on of, like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. That's so embarrassing. Like, I stuttered on the podcast or whatever. Y'all are not going to be thinking about that in 5 minutes.
No.
So having that reality check, again, of just being like, you're a normal human. Everybody goes through this. Everybody's weird. Everybody shits. You know, like,
Yeah.
the sooner you can talk to your girlfriends about your weird periods, the better.
Yeah.
Like, it's just going to be better for everybody.
Yeah.
And when you unlock that, like, level of trust with people, it's just so much better. And I never understood, like, okay, why are we not supposed to talk about how much we make? Why are we not supposed to talk about, you know, things that your parents are like, oh, that's, like, in poor taste to ask about that. You don't ask how much someone's paying for rent. I'm like, I want to know what deals they're getting on this place. Like, I'm just chronically nosy, I think, and chronically an oversharer also. So,
Like you said, that's so relatable to other people. And, you know, I'm curious how you feel connected to your purpose, and if you were living in your purpose, because, like I keep saying, you're so much more than just products, and the level of,
I'm gonna listen to this podcast on repeat, just like when I feel down. I mean, like, yeah, gas me up more. Let's do it.
No, I mean, I think, you know, sharing yourself vulnerably can be so scary, and it's such an unknown, like,
I don't get scared from it. That's the weird
and
thing.
so that's why it's your superpower, and that's why people need to hear what you're saying, because you're like, this just feels right, and I'm doing it, and then other people get to see it. Again, I keep going back to my sister, but I'm like, oh, I know she, like, relates to you so much.
Yeah. That's so cool to hear, because, like, again, like, high school trauma, people being like, yeah, I'm your friend, and then going and talking shit behind your back or whatever, mean girl shit.
Yeah.
I still am like, oh, don't post on Instagram too much. You're going to be annoying and people aren't going to like you anymore. It's like, okay,
Oh, no.
you guys stop doing that. Like, you're a human being. Everybody is weird and annoying and self-conscious.
But I think you've made that cool. You've connected other people who feel that way, and they're like, we have a safe space to be weird.
That is very cool to hear.
But like again, I say it like every episode. Like weird is a term of endurance. Like
yeah. Oh
In a
yeah.
good way. Yeah. In a good way.
Oh yeah. No normies allowed.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
neurotypicals, get the fuck out of here.
oh my god, 100%.
Like no, everyone is gay and everybody is neurodivergent. Like
Yeah,
you're gonna tell me you've never suffered from anxiety? Lies.
yeah,
No way.
yeah.
And if you haven't, then like something's
Then
turned
something's
off.
wrong with you.
Yeah, something's turned off in
Yeah.
there, and like you might be a sociopath.
100%. You're like, what's going on?
Just isolated like an entire portion.
It's okay. No, they're not gonna be listening.
No
to
one
this.
listening to that. I was gonna say, I'm like, no, it's all the other weirdos.
Our first like 5 episodes, we were like, so we just had really bad anxiety, and we're here recording.
So we just had a mental breakdown. How's everyone else doing?
Yep, definitely.
It's fine. It was a full moon last night. We'll blame it on that.
Oh, that's absolutely. My friend worked at a senior assisted living facility, and when it was the full moon, she was like, they act up. Like,
Yeah.
she's like, it's real. Like, they start like saying weird shit, and like old men doing weird things, and she's like, oh, it's full moon. I'm like, okay.
It all makes sense.
It's science now.
Yeah.
It's medical science.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, this conversation has been amazing.
I have loved every second of this.
Okay.
It's been great.
You have so much wisdom, and that's what is so. That's what it's so refreshing because you have this such like positive spin on things that can be so negative, and I think the world needs more of that. So
I appreciate that.
yeah,
It's very encouraging. This is like the injection of motivation that I need to keep being
Keep going.
weird. Yeah, every time it's like, yeah, this is awesome, and then you'll have like, wait, do people hate me for this? And then you'll be like, no, we're cool.
the people that you're pissing off with whatever you're doing, they need a
They
wake
need
up call.
to, yeah.
So keep doing you with your sunshine and rainbows, as
Yeah.
you tell them.
Glitter and rhinestones.
Yeah.
Rethink everything you believe.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm not trying to please everybody, so I gotta stop trying to please everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a part of living authentically.
Yeah.
Not everyone's gonna like you, and that's okay.
Yeah. They're wrong and stupid, but
Yeah.
it's okay.
100%. And you're carving your own path. Like you're doing something no one's ever done before.
That is very cool to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take a moment.
So you
Everyone
want to
take a
soak
moment
it in.
to soak that in. And whatever anyone else is doing out there in the world, I hope this gives you encouragement to
Yes.
like keep
Just
going.
try it. Like, what's the worst that can happen? You fail? Okay, no one's gonna remember that in like a week. It's
Yeah.
cool.
Do you have like a piece of advice you could leave anyone with who feels maybe insecure about, who they are as a person or what they want to do or feeling accepted?
Clearly Instagram likes are not a measure of your worth because everything that you guys have said today is incredible. And I got like 200 likes on a post this morning. I'm like, God damn, it sucks. But then I'm hearing this and I'm like,
You're like, wait, what?
I
You got
more
2
than
likes
that.
right here.
The 2 likes that matter the most. Yeah, just don't gaslight yourself. Don't gatekeep. Put girl boss. Be the final girl boss.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like talking to yourself the way you would talk to other, like your best friend.
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
your best friend would not be like, "You're fucking stupid."
You can't do
No.
that. Why are you
Yeah.
doing
Who
that?
do you think
Yeah.
you
Your
are?
best friend would be like, you go, girl.
And talking to other people is the best. I'm a Capricorn. I keep everything in and just be like, but I can sort it out on myself. Like I don't need to bother other people by the second I start talking to people about it. I'm like, oh, this is so much nicer. And that's how you have like different perspectives on things, or you get different like customer facing opinions versus like business facing. Just trust people and talk about it. And if they give you a bad advice, just don't listen to it.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. I feel like anyone who comes off as snarky or rude or like don't take it personally and they're going through their own shit.
Right.
Has nothing to do with you. You were
Right.
just being curious and
Exactly.
yeah. And if you're listening to this, we believe in you. Reach out to
Yes,
one of us.
I will help you with anything except for your taxes. I don't do that anymore.
Yeah, I'm sure some people reach out asking that.
Insane amount of people.
Do you get taxes? Do you need another side job? Do you
No.
need another job?
Like, you know that 9 to 5 I quit? I actually really miss it. No.
Never.
Well, where can people find you if they want to buy your things?
Shop.thepeachfuzz.co or just thepeachfuzz.co. Not .com. You will get tricked. And then _ the Peach Fuzz on Instagram.
Yeah, follow her on Instagram.
It's a fun
It's a
time.
good time. You make great reels.
Thank you. I'm really trying. I have some good ones lined up.
All right. Well, thank you to whoever's listening. I hope you enjoyed this
thank you.
episode. And
Thanks for hosting.
of course,
Yeah.
thanks
Happy to be
for
here.
being on our show.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye. That was so fun.
Yay!
Y'all said the nicest things to me. I feel so juiced.
That's our job.
That's our job. But also, like, completely how we feel. So,
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
of course.